Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, JodiLewisCreations. Of course, it's Jodi here, and I am here to share with you a request for a Flippy Thingy tutorial. And of course, I didn't bookmark the page. I have two of these in my prayer journal, and this is the request that I had, was how to make one. Okay, so as you can see, when you flip it up, journaling space, you get the picture. But the fun thing is that in each of the sides you also have cards for journaling cards. So one thing you want to be aware of is which side of the page you're going to put it on. Now, I don't know what side I'm going to put it on because I don't have a journal in mind. I just have been having fun playing with this Paper Studio Beach House pad, and I've made a few pieces here knowing that I want to make a beach themed journal, and so I'm just gonna play with this. I'm just having fun, maybe because it snowed on Wednesday and I think I want to go to the beach. I don't know. So what you need to make this is actually minimal, and I have two envelopes here. This envelope is 4 by, I want to say about 9. I'm going to say 9. Both of my rulers are in the other room. I was taking photos of some things that I was listing for sale. I put up the player piano rolls in my Etsy shop, and I put up a couple of hymnals that I picked up in the Etsy shop, and I forgot to actually list a couple more things, so hopefully I can get that done. Okay, so what you want to do is know the height of your journal, okay? You can do this with any size envelope. You can do this with a miniature journal, which would be a lot of fun, and just give myself an idea because I hadn't even thought of it till I just said it. Or your normal 8.5 by, 8.5 by 5.5 if we use our 11-inch paper and fold it in half. So what you're going to do is say, okay, my journal is going to be whatever size, okay? And for the purpose of me not having my ruler in here, or 2 or 3, I think they're all 3 in the other room. Shame on me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for the purpose of that, what I'm going to do is, I know that these are the envelopes that I used. These are just from the Dollar Tree. They're your standard size envelopes. Please, please use your junk mail. And I will show you also, I had started to demonstrate with a just junk mail envelopes, and then I was like, well, I wanted for consistency to just do it this way, okay? But you can use any envelope, any size, any width. You know, the world is your oyster when we are creating, right? So please, please, please make sure that you don't limit yourself to, well, that person said I have to use that size. No, you don't. Just adapt it to what you're doing, okay? So what you're gonna see here is I have, and I did, let's do that, let me flip it this way. And the reason I want to do, on this one it doesn't matter. I was thinking that way I was gluing down the flap. Okay, so we have our flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we're gonna say that left or right, left to right. You know what? I have a tendency to build on the right. I think because I'm right-handed. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this off the left-hand side, and that's going to force me to put it on the left-hand side because that's how we're going to build it. Earth-shattering, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on my cutter, because you know I cannot cut a straight line to save my life. And after the Hortensia journal, I need to go to the store and get some clean blades. I don't mind the rough edge, but I would prefer it not be so rough. Okay, just because sometimes I like that cleaner edge, you know? You know how it is. All right, and sometimes if I pick that up then and go back and forth, it works better. All right, let's put those in the recycle box. Okay, so make sure my open edges, and they are. Now, you see what my envelope's doing, okay? And that's okay. We're just gonna take and don't mind the color of my art glitter glue. I had a pen in it that was not a stainless steel pen, obviously, and it's wreaking havoc on my art glitter glue. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. I don't want to just squeeze it all out and waste. So I'm hoping I can squeeze it out on things that don't matter and then go from there. All right. Okay. So we have our openings are going to be to the left on this. Okay. So here's a pocket. So when I flip this up, this is going to be a pocket with a tag. This is going to be a pocket with a tag, okay? Oops. This is going to be a pocket. And then this beautiful long pocket here. So you can do whatever you want with this. But here's what we're gonna do. So to start with, I'm trying to think, because I have to tell you, it's been, well, my grandson is gonna be a year. Yeah, it's been about a year, because I made the prayer journals when our last grandson was being born, because I made mine and one for our middle children as a gift. And so yeah, crazy, right? So I have this paper pad that is this Paper Studio Beach House, and just because that's kind of what I've been playing with, I'm just gonna use this and kind of give you a quick idea of what we're doing. And I don't even have the right tear ruler in here. Really? Okay, well, things are gonna be interesting. We're gonna improvise. And I'm not gonna stop the video just because I wasn't prepared. So who knows what we're gonna get into. All right. So this top flap, we are going to embellish. And before I do any of this, actually, we need to ink, right? So whatever color, it does not have to be Distress Oxide. It can be whatever color you want, because I am working with this beach house pad. I do know that the Distress Oxide works well because that's what I have been using. Okay, so on this one, this is the long one that's on the bottom. We definitely want to do that small flap, and we want to do the inside of the small flap, okay? Because we're going to see this. We're going to flip that back. My bone folder is somewhere downstairs, maybe. Nope, found it. I brought it back up. All right. Now, because these are Dollar Tree envelopes, they may not have the stability or something. You know, you just want to be mindful of the material that you're working with, because we're going to be layering this with paper and gluing this whole thing down to a page. I'm not that worried about the stability of the paper. So let me ink this and I'll be back. Okay, so I have all my edges inked. And then I remembered that this is a project that I generally ink a little more aggressively than normal, just because I want to not have to have all of my papers cut perfectly if I don't want to. If you want to use your tear ruler, use your tear ruler. Do whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy, whatever style fits your preference. If you want to straight edge everything, straight edge everything. Like, it's a super versatile project. And I want you to, like, be happy with your end result. So, there's that. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just taking my piece here, and I'm just going to, using my glue stick. You can't see that. Let's move it, which clearly I moved it so you could see it. And I'm just going to put this up here. Okay. Done. Now, on this one here, I want to put some journaling space, but I want to make sure that I don't put my journaling space down so low that it can be seen underneath. So what I'm doing is I just fold that over and make a pencil mark. So then I know, okay, don't go down below that spot. So what do I not have? I don't have coffee dyed paper in here. My room is kind of torn apart right now because hubby is, we're waiting on that window to come in, and I don't have everything I need. So we're going to improvise. And isn't that like kind of the whole world that we live in, is just improvise and using what we have? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. May not be the end result I like, but we're going to do it. So, all right. Oh. So I'm going to just try to, I don't even know. I think this is like a kid's ruler. I don't even know what this is. It is just what we're using because it's what I have. And let's get that edge torn off. Okay. And you can ink it. You don't have to ink it. You know, if you're working on a project that doesn't lend itself to inking, don't ink. I mean, it's really as simple as that. And honestly, I don't think I ever would have thought to use that section of a book page had it not been in the situation that none of my stuff is in here. So I think that's a good learning opportunity. Now I can see the shadow of the text under there, but I think I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that because it's neutral. It gives it just a little element of shadowing, and it's completely fine. I don't mind at all. So now I know that's that flip down. Okay. So I need something for here. Can we get lucky enough? My poor, these are my glue book pages, I'm telling you. My stuff is a mess right now. My guest bed is covered, and my hallway has an entire shelf out in it. And we're just waiting on this window to come in. And it hasn't come in yet, which is, you know, nobody's fault. It's not a criticism. We ordered it. It was a custom order. And so I'm like, where's whatever I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. It's out there somewhere. So thank you for your grace with me for fumbling for materials while I'm trying to figure this out because, oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm going to ink it. And I don't mind that ruffly edge, that rough edge that this ruler is giving me. And I'm not doing a great job inking. It's really giving me a very, gosh, I really don't like the word grungy because to me, grungy means you're dirty and you haven't bathed. And so that's not a word that you will typically hear me use to describe my work. I might say it looks really, you know, old or like it's been handled, but I really don't like the word grungy. I just don't think it's a very flattering term. But I do understand the premise of why that term is used. So you'll see my little pencil mark here is showing, but I'm not worried about that right now because I'm going to probably figure out how to overlap that. So I'm wanting something with some pop of color for this portion, right? So let's see what we can do. This little ruler, goodness gracious. That's okay. It's okay. You know what? We're using what we have, and that matters, right? I got this paper pad out the other day to work on a project for a swap in my Facebook group, and I made something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally want to keep that. So I messaged my friend, and I said, how bad is it if I keep it? Because I love it. She was sweet. She was like, well, you made it, so if you want to keep it, you keep it. So I actually did. And then I made a second piece with this paper pad. And now this, so I don't know where this is taking me. Maybe I'm just being led in a direction that I didn't anticipate. And that's okay. If I am, I don't mind. No idea what I'm going to do. We are leaving. We've got people coming to watch the house this summer. And we are leaving. We have family things we need to go do. And so I'm trying to figure out projects that I can take with us and still be able to craft and create and film and not have it be cumbersome, of course, because that's not what, you know, it's about. And so I'm just trying to figure that out. Okay, so see, now that's gonna tuck and show there, you see? And then ideally, if you're a perfectionist, which normally I am, I would have torn these to be the same, which if you saw in the prayer journal, that's what I did. And I just didn't on this, which I have to live with. These are kind of messy. Here's one. Okay, let's see what we can do. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe. You know what? It's all about using our stuff. I'm not gonna be unhappy because that's what I'm doing. This is definitely recycling or upcycling at its best because these are my glue book pages that I just know that has some of this cream available space to use, and I've been kind of trying to save them to like stamp on them or whatever. I guess it's a good thing because this is how we're using them. So anyway, so I have a few ideas for a project to take on the road with us, but I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm going to fussy cut, because I know that's not going to happen. I know me. That's not going to happen. I have, oh my gosh, I keep buying books to fussy cut too. I should do a haul, a book haul for thrifting, what I've been able to find lately, and get some input because I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it all. Okay, all right. So now we need another. Well, I can tell you. Oh, there is one big enough right there. Can you believe that? I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Here is a page big enough for the back side of this one. Who would have ever thought? Thank you, God. Because I never would have thought one would be big enough. This is actually really entertaining to me. Hopefully it's not boring to you. I know inking is not fun to watch, and I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna just get the piece where I can use it. And I'm being very sloppy with the ink, which is not like me. I'm just in a hurry. I don't want the video to be super long or anybody to be bored. And so when I'm in that mind frame, I kind of defeat myself because I do things not in necessarily the manner that I normally would. And then I get frustrated. But luckily it's paper and I can work around that. So And I know my kid's in the next room, which always makes me nervous anyway. And he's mad at me right now. So, he's very mad at us right now. His grades are not very good, and so he's really mad. That text is showing through, but I think that's going to be a good texture, and I don't really think I'm going to worry about that too much. So that's going to be kind of fun. What a fun way to use the bottoms of these book pages. Oh, I didn't mark it. So you just want to lift your little flap up just a little bit and make sure you're just marking underneath. So that way you know when you're doing this piece here, you're going to stop, but that your decorative piece comes up high enough, right? All right, so I should probably pause this and just finish, but I'm not going to. I'm sorry. If you're one of those people who doesn't like it when I just do the long version, I'm sorry. And I already forgot to rotate the first section of the video, so I'll have to make sure I go back and do that, or your video will be crooked, and that won't be much fun for you to watch. So hopefully I can remember to do that. This is all a learning thing for me. I'm hoping that over the summer I'll have some time to like do some homework about YouTubing and videos and editing, or meet some other people who do it. Oh, what am I doing? And get some tips, because that would be amazing. All right, so I know, oh, I love this. I forgot how much I love this. All right, is this one long enough? I don't know. All right, so we're just gonna take this and we're gonna mark it here. And I do think it's gonna be big enough. Whoop, whoop. Super exciting. Okay. I hope I'm in frame enough that you can see. I bet I'm not. Please don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to work this far out from my body. Oh, there's the number. I wanted the number. Oh, that's okay. Anyway. Ooh, that number's almost... You know what? That's all right. I can use that in something else, can't I? I like the little numbers. I try to keep them. See? I just tore that out of something yesterday. So this is just all going to be your writing space. So when we get this all done, you're going to see it's going to be a writing space. And something to be mindful of is, do you like to sew your pages? Because if you like to sew your pages, then you need to be mindful of that before you start gluing everything together. Now, I don't know, did I sew mine? I don't know. I'm not going to look. But if you're going to sew yours, know that you need to do it at this point before you start gluing everything together, or not necessarily at this point. But before you start putting things together, you want to make sure that you sew, because if you're not careful, you're going to sew your edge together. So be mindful. So like here, you could sew, you know, around your pocket, but you want to be mindful of which side is open so you don't sew your pocket shut, okay? So, and I do think I actually did sew mine, but I don't think I'm going to on this one. So I over my edge a little bit there, and that's okay. I'll just let that dry, then I'll pull that up and re-ink it. You know, I say it's just paper. We can always fix it, right? Okay, so we did that lobster. Oops. What do we have? We have script, and then we have lobster. And then let's do... I love that, but no. Ooh, that's not wide enough. Trying to use my scraps, which, because I have been working with this paper, I don't have a lot of. Oh, here we go. This should be perfect. All right. Okay. So let's see. We have this. And we're just going to rip it off here. And I know that I have one straight edge and one torn edge, and I'm not okay with that, actually, because I think it looks funny, but I'm going to have to be on the one edge because I didn't think of it in time, unless I just do like this and tear it some more. No, I'm not going to, because I don't want to waste that much paper. I should have thought before I ripped that to start with, but it's fine because it's on that edge. It's gonna be fine, and because we're distressing it, I don't think it's gonna be like that obvious, so it's fine. I have a mess. If you guys saw my desk right now, you would be like, rather than videoing, shouldn't you be cleaning? And yes, I should be. I told my husband, I said, oh my gosh, I said, Bernice asked me how I made this, so I need to film a video and show her how I made it, which I'm super excited that you asked me, because I love it. I love that you asked me. Thank you. He just shakes his head and rolls his eyes because I'm not supposed to be committing to anything else for a while. And I'm like, well, this isn't really committing. This is just helping somebody understand how to do something that I did but didn't show in a video, right? Right. I think that's right. So that's what we're doing, right? I'm just being silly. It's been a long couple days. It's always a long couple days. I feel like I say that all the time, but isn't that how life seems to be right now? Like everybody's just kind of like, overwhelmed and tired, and life is just weird. I never would have dreamed in my lifetime that we would see some of the stuff that's happening right now, and I'm just grateful that I have a wonderful group of women in my Facebook group, and that everybody is so kind with one another and wanting to help and be generous, and like it's an escape for so many of us. So if you're a person who's not in my Facebook group, please, reach out and join. I mean, we're kind of quiet on swaps right now, and I've got a lot going on for me, but one of my moderators has graciously stepped up to say that she would help me over the summer, which is amazing, and I'm so grateful. And I think we have a really great thing planned if I can figure out how to make a prototype, and yeah, go from there. But anyway, yeah, we have fun. And I'm going to be working on projects this summer and getting some like packs of stuff put together and ready to be listed. So I'm excited about that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so now what would happen is you would just glue. Oh no. Okay, so what I did was I stitched through this seam, okay? This seam right here. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you can hand stitch it, or you can glue it, and it will hold. Just make sure that if you glue it, that you hold it firmly in place, or clip it or something and allow that glue to dry, okay? So that's pretty much it. I hope that showed you how to do it. So this is the Flippy Thingy by request from Bernice. Thank you, Bernice, for asking me. I'm super tickled that you did, because to be perfectly honest, I was like, what is she talking about? I literally had to go watch it, and I was flipping through my Bible journal, and I was like, well, it's either this or this. And it's so funny because this is what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. So I'm really glad that you asked. And so yeah, that's exciting. I'm really happy about that. So now I have another piece made for a Ocean, beach, mermaid. I don't know. I don't know why I'm making these, but I keep making pieces. So I made this little, it's a book page piece that I made with the file tab. And I made this stuffed pocket here. So I've got that tag. This is a little coin envelope. I punched out some little tags here. And then I've got 3 journaling cards back here, and I was like, I actually made this for a swap and then decided I loved it and wanted to keep it. So this is what I kept. And then I made this, and now I have this. So how exciting. Now I have 3 bits for a journal that I'm not even planning on making. Not planning on making right now. But life and karma and inspiration takes us in directions that we cannot always anticipate. Isn't that right? And the whole reason that we create is because it brings joy to our hearts, and that's why we're doing it. So what I will do is I will embellish a little bit on this flap. I probably won't embellish these just for bulk, because I will tell you, oh, I didn't tell you that. Okay, so now what you do is you create your tags, okay? And your tags are gonna go in each of these little side pockets that you made, okay? So like I did here, and I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm just not inspired that much, but I probably will be. Okay, so the top flap has a tag that fits. This flap has a tag that fits. I'm assuming that you see the picture, right? And then this has a tag that fits. It's not even embellished. What you do is you just kind of measure your opening and create your embellishment. And you can use fabric, you can use tab punches, you can use trim, like a normal tag. Where's the other one? Okay, so on this one, I did a tab. This one is fabric. This one is music page tab, and this one is lace. So you have a lot of options on what you can use to do that. I did not sew around these. The only thing I did was I sewed stitch in the ditch there to stick the 2 envelopes together, and that way they're sewn. But again, you can totally use glue. Oh, and if you are going to sew with your sewing machine, make sure that you lengthen your stitch length. Otherwise, you're just going to perforate your paper and weaken that fold even more. So you don't want to do that. Otherwise, it'll be like perforated paper and it's just going to tear off. So I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if it doesn't. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense. Thank you for asking me to show you how to make it. That really makes my heart happy. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching. And Bernice, thank you for always being so supportive and always giving me feedback. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers. And if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe so you see when I put out new content. Thank you for watching Jodi Lewis Creations, and have a great day. Bye.